One, two. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Kickout, the final word in professional wrestling. I am your host and one half of the For Frequency's sake tag team champions of the world, the Wizard CZ. Of course, we are powered by Lopez Pizza, built by Durham Remodeling, colored by Ryan Allison Tattoo, and joining me, as always, my fantastic tag team partner, Mr. Never Wrong, Nick Bull. Never Wrong, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great, CZ. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
Busy weekend of podcasting for me.
You are the man that wears many podcasting hats.
Yes, as well as a wizard hat.
You're the Matt Cardona of podcasts.
Ooh, does that make me the indie podcast god?
I don't know, because I saw that clip of Cody and Kevin Owens talking about Matt Cardona. Is he really the indie god when all he does is whine about going back to the WWE?
Oh, that's fair.
But I digress. Yeah, you've had your fair share of podcasts this past week.
Joe Monroe Show.
The name, getting the face out there, getting the brand out there. So props to you. I couldn't do all those, man. But you're the man. That's why you're here.
You have more important things. You've got family life.
That's not necessarily true. But no, it was cool. I tuned into a couple of those shows you were on and repped the brand well. And it was great, man. Good. I'm glad you're a part of our show. Glad you are half of this show. So I digress. A weekend of WWE activities with Night of Champions. Thought we'd probably give some love to AEW here a little bit, and a big week for AEW coming up. So maybe I kind of gave it away, but what do you want to talk about, CZ?
Well, I mean, right there, you hit the nail on the head. Pretty historic week for AEW as they hit 300 episodes of Dynamite, and in the same week, 100 episodes of Collision. That's pretty friggin' awesome.
Yeah, it is. And just think about how much his wrestling has changed. CM Punk was on, debuted on Collision back in August of 2021, I think, right? Was it?
Yeah.
21?
21 sounds right.
No, because he came. The first episode of Collision was Kenny Omega and Christian.
Oh, yeah.
When Christian won the Impact title. So the first episode of Collision was for the TNA or the Impact title at the time. And now you got TNA working with WWE. It's just so much has gone on and changed in that time. And AEW has been a viable number 2 option for quite some time now. We knew earlier this year Dynamite outlasted Nitro. And it's long, it's run. So, now they're celebrating Collision as well. So a big week. I know there's only been a handful of matches so far introduced, but there's a couple interesting ones in there, CZ, if you want to touch on those.
Yeah. As we record this, announced for Dynamite 300, we have a 4-way for the number 2 spot in, let me get the name right, the Casino Gauntlet at All In Texas. That match consists of Brody King, MJF, Anthony Bowen, and AR Fox.
Got a
All these
feeling
things not like the other.
Right. Who's the number 1? Is Mark Briscoe the number 1?
Yes.
Yeah, it just makes sense after their interaction on last week's Dynamite. As you watch this tonight, it just makes sense for MJF to be number 2 and those two to go at it for a little while before the rest of the entrants start trickling in numerically. Very interesting. I'd be shocked if MJF didn't win it.
I would be too. Of course, sure. Mercedes Moné is defending her TBS championship against Mina Shirakawa.
Steadily putting a few good matches here together. The in-ring has been much better for Mercedes. I think having Toni Storm as her muse, so to speak, has maybe made her step her game up, and she's not mailing in her appearances or whatever. So they've done a good thing. AEW's done a really good job building this with all in with Tony Storm and with Mercedes Moné.
Yes. And of course, the match that I'm looking forward to the most, I saved this for last on purpose. Kota Ibushi taking on Kazuchika Okada. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, Dynamite 300. That's a big match. Ibushi just returning back here recently from injuries. He looks to be in good shape. But that's an IWC dream matchup right there. That's a match that's been talked about for quite a while. Now we get it on free TV for a national audience of Okada and Kota Ibushi, which, high expectations going in for sure.
I'm glad you brought up that it's on free TV. What are your thoughts of this being on free TV and not on a pay-per-view?
Well, I'm glad it's free. I wouldn't want to pay for it.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, I'm not knocking it, but man, I don't know. I mean, with just so few matches announced, I don't think I'd be slapping down $50 for this. But well, I'm glad that it's on. I'm glad that I get TNT or TBS, excuse me, and I'm able to watch it. So they've got so many wrestlers on their roster. They've got to maybe do these shows like this to get people on. I mean, I don't know, but it's a matchup we haven't seen, so I'm excited for that. So I guess that's what I'm looking forward to on Dynamite 300. Collision 100. I think there's an Outrunners and FTR match, which will be interesting. Those guys have kind of been going at it back and forth. I'm interested to see how that, what takes a twist there with that storyline between those two. FTR.
And the Outrunners, of course, being a little more serious now than they have been. Not quite as still doing the silly stuff, but taking things a little more serious, a little more to heart in recent weeks.
Yeah, so I'm very interested to see them as this serious team now, standing up to FTR, who has gone a different route. I do like the addition of Big Stoke to FTR. I do. I'm a big FTR homer. And it spices things up. They've never had a manager. Why not try it? And I love Stokely Hathaway. So it's a win-win for me if I'm a fan of both. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Let us know how you feel. Reach out to us here, either on the Kickout or at the Card Subject to Change, our long-form show, which airs on Sundays here on the For Frequency's Sake Tag Team Network. Let us know. Reach out to us. He's the Wizard CZ. I'm never wrong, Nick Bull. Speaking of the Card Subject to Change, CZ, what do we have coming up on this week's coming episode?
We'll get to that in a second. Before I forget, I want to mention this QR code right above my shoulder here. If you are a fantasy football player, click the QR code. Sign up for fantasy football. It's for a good cause. It's for the Toys for Tots. For Frequency's Sake, does some great stuff, raising money and shopping for kids in need over the holiday season. And we want you to be on a Card Subject to Change league. We need 12 to fill one. We're hoping to fill 2, so Nick and I both can manage things and talk to our fans. But yeah, click on the QR code, join us. Show DJ Jarvis, the tribal chief, show him up. Show him we can build a league of our own.
Oh, okay. A league of okay. I see what you did.
I'm sorry. But no, let's talk about Sunday. Sunday, I'm super excited here.
Yeah.
We are welcoming on a great referee from the independent scene. Her name is Jana Pride. She is fantastic. She has a great story to tell. I don't know how political we're going to get with that one. Hopefully not too much. Talk mostly about wrestling, but I'm excited. I want to hear her story. I want to hear her about her journey, and this should be a lot of fun. She's friends of the Joe Monroe Show, friends of the Squared Circle. So I've had her on our radar for quite some time, and I'm glad that she's able to come on with us this coming Sunday. That'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that discussion. Always love getting first-time guests in to our little corner of the world and seeing what brought them into wrestling. So looking forward to that for sure. That's coming up this Sunday on the card, subject to change. 6:30, correct? Start time for that one, CP? All right. Hey, we're in the midst here of Independence Day, kind of going into the weekend. So please be careful out there. Don't party too hard. Party responsibly. Call the driver if you need one. Do not mess around with fireworks. That stuff's real. They will take your fingers off. So please be very, very careful. And never forget that Lex Luger went aboard the USS Intrepid on July 4th and slammed Yokozuna, not only for himself, but for all of the United States.
For America.
For America.
Hey, and while you're at it, this 4th of July, keep Never Wrong Nick Bull in your thoughts. He is going after the World Championship of Bocce. That is his yearly 4th of July thing. So
that's right. I got a championship to defend. I'm going to try for a repeat here.
Yeah. We're rooting for you, Nick.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. If you like this, great. This is the Kick Out, our short form show. Airs Wednesdays at 6 o'clock here on the For Frequency Sake Network. If you like our long form show, card subject to change, Sundays usually at 6:30. If there is a special time, we're really good at updating socials and letting y'all know how and when to find us. Hit us up, like, follow, share, subscribe, leave a message, leave a review. Love to hear from you. Other than that, I think that wraps things up for this episode. He is the Wizard CZ. I am Never Wrong Nick Bull. This has been the Kick Out, the final word in professional wrestling.
This has been a For Frequency Sake Podcast Network production. For more great content, subscribe to For Frequency Sake on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.